W33BY, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I'd like to start with a quote. The ears of the leader must ring with the voices of the people. Great president once said that. Mr. President, I rise today to make it clear to everyone in this chamber exactly why I cannot support this legislation. You've heard the chants outside this chamber, not just today and last night, but many times over the past 2 years. Thousands of people have shown up, union and non-union, men and women, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, even their children. These are the working families of Michigan. These are the thousands of people that I was sent here to represent. When I vote no, I'm voting no on behalf of the thousands of families. Who are you voting yes for? Grover Norquist? I know he sent you all a letter asking you to support this anti-worker legislation. You are voting yes because a handful of corporate lobbyists, a handful of fat cats in the back are telling you to. That's who you work for, the powerful few, the guys with top hats and monocles. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I work for the people, for the many. I proudly represent them in casting this no vote. I'm doing what's right, what's good for the people. And I tell you this, Mr. President, we will fight you. We will not let this stand. We'll fight you from Kalamazoo to Timbuktu. We'll fight you from the streets and in the suites. We'll fight you in the penthouse and we'll fight you in the outhouse. And Mr. President, I'll tell you this right now, when it's all said and done, when it's all over, we will grab the thunderbolt of truth. We will grab the rod of revolution and we will have our victory. And the spoils will go to the working people of Michigan. And you will forever remember the day when you thought you could conquer labor. You were sorely mistaken. Be prepared to engage in the fight of your life. You might win this battle, but the wars are brewing, sir. The wars are brewing, sir. And we're coming, and we're taking no prisoners, and we're taking no quarter. And Mr. President, when all said is done, working men and women of this state will reign supreme. Thank you, and I ask that my comments be printed in the journal.
That is your constitutional right. Your comments will be printed in the journal. I'd also like to thank Senator Coleman for addressing directly at the chair as opposed to the rest of the body. I appreciate your indulgence of the rules. Senator Hood.
Hello and welcome to The Young Effect. I am your state senator, Coleman Alexander Young II, soon to be your next congressman of the 13th District. Always a pleasure to be here with you, broadcasting live from WHPR TV 33. As always, before we start, we want to honor our veterans. Those are our men and women who are fighting for us overseas. We want to honor those from fought for us in Iraq, those who continue to fight for us in Afghanistan and their families. We also want to honor our local heroes, our police officers, our firefighters, our emergency services personnel. We want to honor the men and women who put their lives on the line so we can enjoy the rights and the freedoms and the civil liberties we have right here in the good old US of A. So I just want to say thank you to them and everything that they do for us, everything they continue to do for us. And may God bless them. And anybody that's out there that's hurting, that feel that they've been forgotten, or feel that they're invisible, or feel that no one sees them. This one, I said, what I'm doing right now, I want to make sure that this episode that we have of this television show is dedicated to you and yours. Please join me for a moment of silence. All right, thank you so much for that. And with that being said, we're going to get right into it. If you got any calls, you got anything you got in the mind, it's open mic as always. We want to hear what you got to say, what's going on. We're going to get into it really quickly. We got anybody on the phones? Anybody out there on the phone right now? We don't have nobody on the phone. Yeah, we got someone on the phone? Okay. We got a phone call. I think we're going to have a phone call. Caller, you on the air. Welcome to the Young Effect.
Good afternoon, State Senator Coleman Young. How are you?
Hello?
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Hello.
All right, hold on for a minute. We having some technical difficulties. Let's make sure we get the sound going on here. Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, what's going on? Hold on. We need to get the. Hold on just a minute. We don't have any sound real quick. Give us just a minute here. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Good evening, State Senator Coleman Young. How are you?
Good.
That's wonderful. And I just wanted to say, they need to. You just went off of Comcast. There's completely no picture of you on Comcast right now.
Okay.
But anyway, I just wanted to, I'm the one that calls in and give out the job. But as well, Section 8, and I will probably have to call you back because it threw me off when, you went off the air. But anyway, I just want to just let everybody know, on March 16th, this Friday, at Dabo, that's at Grand River in Wyoming, they're having a program for DT Energy for the LS program. That's the low efficiency program for people who live up under the radar of poverty. You can go there and they will tell you how much you can spend per month. It's like a program that, like the RAP program, and you pay so much less for your DT Energy bill. That's your light and gas bill.
Okay.
I just wanted to put that out there. And then also, like I said, Section 8 is have their openings, and I will call back with that website because it knocked me off, so I'm going to have to pull it back up, and I'll call back with that website, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you for letting me announce that.
Well, listen, thank you. We appreciate you. We thank you so much for that. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Hold on for me. Oh, wait. No. Are we good? We're back. Are we good with TV? All right. Well, come on. Let's keep going then. We got another caller? I'm sorry. We got a whole bunch of stuff that's going on right now. And I'm trying to make sure we keep this thing going like we're supposed to be going. We got another caller? Okay. But we're good? Okay. So listen, what I want to talk about today is I just want to say, first of all, I want to go over what happened this week. So we were going this week. We went out to we gone to a couple forums this week. I don't know if you heard. I was on this Thursday with Mildred Gaddis talking about the 13th district. I think it went incredibly well. And when you're out here in these forums, you're doing these things, and you're talking about this stuff, you have to make sure that, one, that you're prepared, that you know what you're talking about, you know what you want to say, or at least I try to the best of my ability. And I think that I did pretty well.
Hi,
I think that
you've reached 3...
did pretty well. I think we did everything that we needed to do in order to get this going. So this is really good. I also think, however, though, what we need to start talking about is, or at least what I want to start talking about primarily when running for Congress, is we got to start talking about who has the best record, who has served the longest. This is a law-making profession. We need people in there that's actually made some laws. And I got a 12-year record of doing that. I've made 11 laws. I've made more laws than anybody else in this race. And I got the most relevant experience out of anybody in this race. And that's what I was trying to hit on when I was at the Mildred Gaddis forum and when I was at the recent forum with Union Radio. Shout out to everybody from Union Radio out there. That was pretty good. And we talked about the issues. I thought it was good overall. I think, though, that we also have to understand that this is a congressional race.
and we running to be the congressperson. We're not running to be state rep or state senator. We're running for the congressional race. And when you're doing that, these are the things that have to happen. You gotta have a plan and a platform that deals with actually what you're gonna do on the federal level. And we need somebody with experience in order to get this done, but who has been a change agent. And I've done that for a very long time. And I'm going to continue to do that. And I think my experience, and I hope that my experience showed, and that what I was talking about when I was talking to the issues and talking directly to the people, I think that showed. I think what we need to start doing, and what I want to do when I'm a congressperson, is first of all, we need to fix these roads. I don't know if you've been driving along some of these roads. These potholes are crazy. I mean, we've been swerving a lot of these potholes. It's insane. We need to have more money in the federal budget in terms of roads and road funding. One, I think we need to utilize more public-private partnerships. I also think that we need to start investing more in terms of the Transportation Innovation Financial Improvement Act. And I also think we need to start doing a better job of using our infrastructure banks. These are things we can appropriate more money to areas in terms of what's going on in terms of our bad roads right now. Especially after we know in Michigan with the snow, the way it's being, and with climate change, you know what I'm saying? These roads are absurd. And that's really why climate change is so important. And people say, well, people don't really get excited about climate change. They may not get excited about climate change, but they definitely get excited about potholes and roads. And when that snow melts into the roads, it makes these potholes that everybody's going to have to pay for. And so, and putting people at risk. I mean, you got folks go driving 50, 60, 70 miles an hour on the road, and you got this crater in the middle of the street. Look, I think the amount of folks that have gone to auto body shops have gone up by 30% in this state. 30%. That's serious. And that's why I'm running for Congress, because we need to make sure that we do a better job of investing our federal gas and weight tax when it comes to our roads. And all the roads that we have here in Michigan, in terms of the state roads, are federally owned roads. So it's very important in terms of what we're doing and how, in terms of highway roads, are very important. And so that's why I'm running. I'm also running because I believe that our children should have the best education. I believe that we should have universal pre-K. That's very important. The mind of the child develops the most between 0 and 3 years old. We also need to invest more in something that's called qualified area academy or qualified school academy bonds. And those are basically, qualified area, qualified zone academy bonds. And basically, this is money for schools in more low-income, poor areas to be able to rebuild our school system. Because our children should not be educated in squalor, but in splendor. And that's why I want to run for be your next congressman. So we can fix our schools and put our people back to work. And it's not going to cost you any more taxpayer dollars to do it. I think the other thing we need to start doing is, I think, in terms of schools and education, and we also need to make sure that we appropriate more money to the school system. That's something that's very vital right now. And we also need to change the compatibility rule, which basically incentivizes paying teachers more money who teach out of high areas or high risk, high need areas, instead of paying them more money to teach in high risk areas. We need to increase the categorical funds. That's more money for schools that are at high risk. We also need to invest more in Head Start for our children. And for higher education, there's no reason why we live in the wealthiest country on earth and why we don't have tuition-free college. And we can pay for that by levying a tax on Wall Street speculators that will generate $171 billion. These are things that we can do, things that we should do. You should not be saddled with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt just because you're trying to pursue your college education and your dream as an American. And that's really what this is. It is taking away the American dream from the American people. And it's wrong. And let me say this too. Time out for shipping jobs overseas and giving those same corporations tax breaks. We need to stop giving tax breaks to companies that ship our jobs overseas and start taxing companies that ship our jobs overseas. This is outrageous. That's what I'm running. That's what I'm doing this for. We got the callers? Caller, you on the air. Welcome to the Young Effect.
Hello, Mr. Young.
Hey, how you doing, East Side lady?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I feel a whole lot better than I did the other day. You know, I've been out calling people and talking to people for you because you're going to win this race. You know, we got enough crooks sitting up here in the city of Detroit. We don't need anybody else to come in here and take over anything. We had more money. We had more everything when your father was in office because he took care of everybody. He didn't take care of just a race of people. He took care of black, white, yellow, anything that was in the city of Detroit. Your dad took care of them. He fought for everybody in the city of Detroit. We got people sitting
That's
in
what
here.
I'm fighting for.
We got people sitting in here voting for one race of people so they could take all the money, take everything that's in the city of Detroit. I was born here in the city of Detroit. I hear these people get on there saying, well, you know, I've been living over here all my life in this area, and we've been doing this and we've been doing. I was born in 1936 on January the 27th. I'm 82 years old. I have never left Detroit to go anyplace. And these fools that run this television show, and I'm talking about Mr. Jones, since he talked about me the other day, I'm talking about him. Why don't you go back home where your mama's at and help her out?
Whoa. We don't want to talk about other people. We especially not trying to talk about Mr. Look, this is a forum and a place for people to be able to talk about the issues of the day and what they want to talk about. But you cannot use this as a back channel to be attacking one another. Now, y'all got your own shows. If you got a problem with that person, go talk to that person. I don't understand what this is. Where people will talk about other, and I wasn't going to address this today. I really wasn't. But, you know, where you got people on television shows that won't talk about other people. And look, me personally, when people talk about me, it really don't bother me one way or the other. But if you got a problem with somebody, go talk to that person. This is a small community, y'all. It's not like we all that hard to find. Everybody knows I'm here every Sunday, or as many Sundays as I can be, at 4 o'clock. Telling you the business and the truth every day. Everybody got other shows. Call in and talk to them. But, you know, callers disrespected other callers, or callers talk about other hosts. And even if you want to call in on my show and talk to me directly and say something negative, I'm open. I may not be open for very long because I'm paying for the time. And there's only so many times I'm going to be called out my name when I'm paying for it. And it's not like you see a whole bunch of other people up here running for office or not that are here doing this. So, look, At some point in time, we have got to start talking to each other with, it's okay to disagree without being disagreeable. It's okay to talk to somebody and say what you mean, but don't use my show as an outlet to solve your problems in terms of with each other. That's not what this show is for. It's not. All right? And there's too many issues we got going on right now that we need to deal with as Americans, as black folks. So let's deal with that. Let's talk about that. It's okay to tell the truth with somebody, but do it with compassion and consideration and respect. All right. I'm done. Put it back on. Hello?
But as long as it happens, tell him to stop saying anything about me.
Talk to him about that.
That's what I mean. He ain't letting me do that.
Oh, okay. Well, you know.
He's not letting me do that. If he would let me do that, I most certainly would, because I stopped doing that quite some time ago. But I've been sick for 3 months. I don't ask nobody for nothing. I don't bother nobody. I call in and voice my opinion about what we need to do about in the city of Detroit.
I don't know
now,
what...
he loves them people. That's his business.
I don't know what he said.
But don't do that to me.
Did.
You don't know me.
Let me say this real quick, Eastside.
You don't know me.
I don't know what he said. I don't know what he did. I know I love you, Eastside. And I know I've always loved you. We may not always see eye to eye.
I respect everybody on that show, even people that I don't like. I respect them.
I think it's sad
running from my buddies, and we have gave parties to make sure that people have something in the city of Detroit. Anybody sent me a card for being
whatever
sick.
it is he
I don't
said
bother nobody.
that made you this upset. Because there's no reason why you should be this angry. You've been calling on to this show, I'm sure, probably since it began. And
I'm this angry because I never bother anybody. They can talk about me all they want. But if they don't want to be talked about, don't say nothing about me from now on.
I agree, but
because you don't know what in the heck I know about you.
This ain't a conflict resolution.
I don't leave the city of Detroit, go no place else and live.
This ain't a conflict management center.
I stand here, born here, go die here, and I'm going to stay here. And if you decide to talk about me again, go right ahead, because I know quite a bit about yourself, too.
Well, look, I love you.
Go right up ahead, because I know somebody else going to let me talk about you. And I'm going to tell them just what you are and just what you do. And I'm sorry, Mr. Young, it will never happen on your program again, because you haven't did anything but try to help everybody in the city of Detroit. But when they got enough nerve to talk about me, never been in my house, never been no place around me, gossip about people, do anything they want about people, but we can't say nothing about them. Don't say nothing about me.
All right. Well, you
don't made that clear. Don't say a darn thing about me, because you don't know a darn thing about me.
All right, Eastside. Well, look, we love you.
And I'm sorry that this happened, but if you say anything about me again, I had to pay some money to get on television and talk to you. I'll find me some money to talk about that sucker.
All right.
Thanks for taking my call, and good night.
We appreciate it. Love you, because she get ready to get Brother Bay to get the beat button out. Hello? We got the caller.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, I'm sorry about that interruption. You was on a roll, and that's what we wanted to hear. You are going to win. I'm a praying lady. I'm praying for you that you will get where you need to get.
Yes.
This is your time. You're going to fit right in that slot.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, and I just wanted to say that, and you keep up the good work. You was on the roll. What we really want to hear you say, but I'm sorry, the East Side lady, you know. But that's okay, and I love her. We about the same age too.
Yeah.
But I'm the type of person, I like to clear up things if I hear.
Well, obviously, whatever.
That's all I'm going to say.
Love you.
Jones did not disrespect her. No, he didn't. I'm gonna say that. She misunderstood him that day. East Side, you misunstood him. I heard it.
All right.
Maybe it wasn't coming out clear, East Side. No, he didn't disrespect you.
Well, thank you.
When you thought you heard what he said, you kind of went off, and he had to let you go. That's what that was now.
Well, thank you.
So, Eastside, no, I love you, Eastside. We need to talk sometime. I need to give you I'm going to leave my number to the
Yeah.
station. Eastside
Yeah,
called
through
me.
the
This is
station.
Joyce.
Don't leave it on the don't leave it on
Well,
the show.
thank you so much, Coleman. I'm praying that you will get there. My granddaughter had to go home. She didn't come today. She said, but make sure you tell Senator Tacoma Young that I said hi.
Most certainly
The
will.
little girl that called you last week, Caitlin.
We most certainly
okay,
will.
take care, and I love you, and I'm vouching for you. I'm praying for you, and I do believe all is well. Thank you. Have
Love
a good
you.
evening.
Appreciate
Bye-bye.
you. Yeah. And let me just say this too. Let me just say, first of all, you know, my mother said something to me one time. I constantly remember she says that the hurt is on the burden of hurt is on the person who was hurt by it, not the person who was doing the hurting. So I definitely think that that's a conversation that Eastside gonna have to have with Mr. Jones. I know Mr. Jones. I love and respect Mr. Jones. I'm not trying to talk about anybody or get involved in anything. That's a conversation between those two. I just know that I talk to Eastside Lady a lot, and I heard her speak a lot. It's rare she's that upset. You know, she's that hurt. You know what I mean? You know, and people, you know, you see Eastside Lady, you'll come on here and, you know, give people the business every Sunday. And I can kind of tell when she's just giving somebody the business and when she's giving somebody the business from a place of hurt and a place of pain. Because she used to give it to me all the time. I used to be the victim of that quite a bit. So I can kind of tell in her voice when she's just angry about an issue and when she's personally in pain. And I think she's personally in pain. And whether or not somebody did it or not, I think it's a responsibility, a burden upon us as adults and as people of faith or just good people, period, who want to make sure that we right whatever wrong or whatever transgression we may or may not have, you know, committed towards somebody. She's an elder, but more importantly, she's a human being. And we want to start respecting people. And we want to start coming from a place of respect. And if you can't come from a place of love, at least come from a place of respect. At least come from a place of respect or compassion or at least just understanding. Just understanding. Now listen, this ain't a conflict management show. And I'm sure definitely not a therapist or, you know, here to resolve anything. Nor is that what my role is trying to be. But I just want to make everyone know that those are conversations that we need to have off television. Camera ain't the place to be doing that. All right. Before I go with another caller, I also just want to say, these are the laws that I've passed. Nice little segue there. I've created over 10,000 jobs through movie tax credits. I've helped people stay in their houses to reduce their property taxes through NEZs or neighborhood enterprise zones. I've regulated the medical marijuana industry, passed legislation involving energy cost recovery, passed historic civil rights legislation, making sure that pregnant women receive mandatory paid leave. And I have passed legislation making sure that we get rid of blight in terms of signage or penalize those who put signage and use and blight the community. And I passed legislation to regulate the medical marijuana industry. I think I already said that. And I've also appropriated over $300 million to the state of Michigan. $2 million to keep Focus Hope open. $550,000 to Charles H. Wright Museum. $6.8 million for low-income energy and heating assistance, which allows the state to draw down over $300 million from the federal government. So in the words of the Honorable Coleman Alexander Young, I bring home the bacon. I'm getting the job done, and I work. Everybody else talking about what they gonna do. I'm telling you what I've done. And this is a law-making job We need somebody in Congress that's actually made some laws. We got another caller? Coleman Young is that man. So Coleman Young for Congress. Hello?
Hello?
Hello?